Yeah, so in today class, we are trying to learn some complex example of matching and merging. And we are trying to create one child table also apart from the parent table, so that we can take some additional attribute of child and parent together, and then we can try to find the better match. This scenario will be more helpful in our real-time project, because in real-time project, we know that we will have one parent and many child table and grandchild as well, right? So for that, what we are going to do, till now, we have created one employee table based subject table where we have taken these columns in the column list, and we have created the address table where we have taken this column list. Okay. After this, creating these two base subject table, we need to define the relationship. Okay. For this defining the relationship, we have to make sure that we have marked this address ID column, which is unique, which is common in both the column. It should be not null and unique. Okay. So we have already marked this address ID in both the table as a not null and unique. And also we have defined the relationship. We can see. So here we can come in relationship of the, sorry, this is our table name BEMP, and here you can come in relationship. And here just now we define the relationship. BEMP address ID is B address EMP address ID, and here you can see in column we have made this a unique. Okay. Same for address also. We have selected this column as a unique for address ID. Okay. So till now we have done this part only. Now we are going to do define the matching kind of criteria so that we can find the match candidate. So now for that, we need to go match setup, same like earlier. So let's go to match setup of employee. Where is that? Here we have match setup. Let's define some match rule set. Here, why we are not add match columns? Okay, before, okay. Oh, we directly jump to this tab. We should come start from here. So let's take the fuzzy strategy, because in fuzzy we can take jet and fuzzy together. So in fuzzy we have more flexibility. Let's take fuzzy, and let's take this as a yes this time. Except all unmatched row as a unique. That means if it will be unable to find any matching candidate, then that record will be treated as a golden copy itself, and that record will be turned CI from 2 to 1 directly. Okay, we will see that. And now in the path you have to come. So for defining this child kind of table with the parent in the match merge, you have to come to path. Okay. So here we can see the path. In path, you are able to see your parent table BEMP. Okay. So now if you have defined relationship with BEMP with some child, then if you click on plus, then here you will be able to see your child table. Here you can see. If you have not defined relationship, it will not reflect here. Okay. So suppose here you can give any name, like here I can give the name like address. That means this relationship name is like address between employee and address table. So this is giving the address detail. Just press OK. So here we can see now we have two tables. Parent is EMP, address is child, and you can add grandchild also. You can define some address type table, and there you will have some columns common between address and address type, and here you can define the grandchild also. Here you can just do plus, and here you can select the that table after the relationship. Okay. So that we can do. After defining this, we can come to match merge columns, and here let's take person name.
You say, can you go in back path?
I will come to question and answer. Let me complete this. So I'm just taking person name, and then I'm taking here a standard, and here let's take some let's define some strategy. So what strategy we are going to define? Let's take person kind of employee ID should be same, its CT should be same, and this address line could be kind of partially matched. So we will take exact match like employee ID in organization. So employee ID should be same, or CT should be same, and then address line should partially match. This is our kind of use case. So use case, suppose we are going to see use case. in place of EMP ID, let's take EMP name, and city should exactly match. Okay, and address line 1 would partially match. Line 1 would partially match. Okay, so this is the use case we are going to implement. So this first we have to define these two as a exact column, then this we have to define as a fuzzy, and then we have to define the match. Okay, so let's come here, let's come to a column, and here let's take a employee name. So I am taking employee name, EX means exact, that is EMP name, so that I can use it. And I need to take we can go to address table also after clicking here. Okay, we can switch to address child table also, and here I am clicking plus, and from here also you can switch. And here from address I want to take CT as exact column. Okay, so exact column EX and CT. So these two columns we have defined so that we can use in our kind of match rule. Here we can see why it is taking person fuzzy. We have not defined any fuzzy till now, right? We have defined just exact. So EXCT is exactly pointing to the address table, the MP table, that is fine. We have not defined anything, these two. For fuzzy, why it is coming? Person name. I think we had selected that time, but we have not defined, I think. Or by mistake, it got saved. That time we had selected. So for first time, if you will, I think last time we had taken person name and we had saved that. That's why it is taking that. Okay. So in person name, it ideally should not be person name. Here, the fuzzy column should be, what is the name? Address line 1. Okay. So okay, let's leave it, because what is happening is once we are creating first time any fuzzy columns, once first time you are defining fuzzy column, then that is treating as a fuzzy match key. Okay, Ashish, your understanding is correct. So first time if you define any fuzzy kind of columns, then by default it will take fuzzy match key as a fuzzy match key, and it will not be able to delete or kind of change it. Just we can change the column from here. Okay, so for person name we don't have anything. Let's leave it blank for time being. And for fuzzy I have to take address line 1 from address, and here let's take address line 1, address part 1. Okay, so this address part we are going to use in our logic. So this employee name is exact, city name is exact, and address line 1 we are going to use as a fuzzy. And now we can go to match merge rule setup. Here you can define some match rule set MRS. This is for employee. Now we can define here match rule. So match rule, let's take fuzzy, so that we will have exact and match exact and fuzzy both columns available. So we want that employee name and city should exactly match, and we want that person address line should partially match. So we are taking from fuzzy column. Okay, so this is the simple logic we are defining. The following match column needs to be present in the rule for the purpose. Which column is same? Okay, I think for this column we have this column is got selected and we have not defined any column. So let's take some address ID or something in that. Now come to match merge rule setup, and here match rule set already defined, typical already taken. This one, why it is taken? Let's change this fuzzy, and here this 2 is exact and this one is fuzzy. The following match columns needs to be present in the rule for the purpose. Void contact, person name, organization name. Person name and organization name. Okay, so the key value which we have defined is asking that it should be present. This person name also, okay, because this we have defined the fuzzy match key. So what we can do, let's delete this one, address part one. And what we can do, we can map the columns address line one here. So let's address line one here, take here, because this is a match, fuzzy match key. So this one mandatory need to be taken. So I'm taking address line one in person name. So this is not correct. Ideally, name is conflicting, its address and its person name. But just for understanding, let's see that this address line one is pointing to person name. And let's come here, match rule set. Here, exact and person name. White is coming. Then following match columns need to be present in the rule. White contact, person name, organization. Oh, sorry. See, here we are doing the mistake. Here we are selecting white contact and we are not using it here. Okay. So here, like person name, if you have taken, then here we have to take person name. Okay. So that is fine. So here we will be careful this time. Anytime if you are selecting columns here, then we will have a look here also in case of fuzzy. So here, whatever column you are selecting, that column needs to be used here. We have to remember that. Just let's save it. Now our match strategy is fine. Just I'm saving this, and before that we have to create some test data also. So data manager, I had already created a query package for BMP. So let's create some test data for employee table. So like here I am taking employee ID as a 1, EMP name as a page, Naveen Kumar. See, address, address we are not taking from this address, we are taking from address table, right? So here you can give any simple address. Delhi address ID. Oh, so address ID we have not actually defined in address table. That's why it is not able to populate here. So first we have to define the child table. Okay, for child we have to create query and package. So new query group. This is for ADR. Let's create some query for address. Same like how we did for employee. So this query queue underscore for ADR, and here we have to select the table correctly. Finish. Let's go in select and let's remove unnecessary columns which is not used by us. Creator create consolidation is needed. Deleted, updated by, deleted by. Section ID this we can delete. So we should have this address ID. These are the important columns. Okay. Now we got the query created. Let's save it. So this time we are not going to create any landing table as test table. So we have created our base subject table, and through the data manager, we will directly insert record in a base subject, and then we will do our match testing. Okay. So we have already understood the how to use data manager. So we are going to use the functionality of that. New query. So new package. So here we are going to create the two package, PKG for this is display package, and this is for address. So for display, no need to select here. We have to select here the query. I'm selecting the query. So display package got created. Now let me create the put package. So PKG underscore put, and this is for address. For put, we will enable this, okay? And then we need to take the address query. So we got, now we can access the address also from here. See, now address is available, okay? So in address, we can create the test data first. So let's create some test data in address. So address line 1 should match, and it should partially match, okay? So suppose I'm taking this one as Bangalore West near metro. This is I'm taking, and city is suppose Bangalore, and address ID suppose we are taking ADR1 as address ID. So one record we have inserted. Let's insert one more record. So let's take a metro and 10. I'm taking 10 as address, and Bangalore address ID ADR2. These two record got created in address. Now let's create one more record. So here let's take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have taken more kind of difference, and we'll see that it is again able to match or not. So Bangalore, here we are taking the same city and ADR3. We can take one more example which will not qualify for matching. Here we are taking same, but here I'm taking a city as a different, Delhi. Okay, and here I'm taking ADR4. Okay, so we have created 4 test data. Here we can see for these 3, Bangalore, Bangalore, Bangalore. So these 3 ideally should match, but this one we will see because this is a little higher having difference with respect to these 2, right? But these 2 should match. Okay, third can also match or not match, we will see, but this one should not match because city is difference. Okay, and for Delhi city there is no other record. Okay, now we can set up administration and we can switch to employee table for creating some test data in employee. Now we can go plus, and here now we can see your address, what address you have defined. Okay, and EMP ID, suppose I am taking 1 here, and EMP name, suppose I am taking here Chandan Kumar C. Address we can take anything because this address is not used in our matching criteria. So one record we got created. So basically from here we are taking the employee name, right? So we have to take one more employee ID, whose name is Chandan. Sorry, address could be, sorry, just a minute. This one should be Chandan Kumar. See, this one should exactly match because we have defined exact match on the name, right? So our each case is employee name and city should exactly match. Okay, so this name is same. Again, this is I'm making the address as a Bangalore West something, and here I'm taking address 1. The address should also match, right? So what value we should take here? If we are taking Chandan Kumar C for second record, here Bangalore West address is different. So if it will join on the basis of address 1, then what value it will fetch? So it should fetch the address line 1 value, which is Bangalore something there. So that is available here only, right? But that value should partially match. So here in this case, we can take this value also. What I'm saying, let me explain. Here, employee name exactly matching. And here for one Chandan, we are taking address 2. And in address 2, we have defined the Bangalore West Metro 10 something. Okay, so that is partially matching. This 2 record is partially matching once it is taking the details of the address line 1. Partially matching, not exactly matching. That's what we want, right? And let's take one more record. Where employee ID is 3. Employee name, suppose Ravi. And address, let's take anything. Delhi. And address ID we can take. So suppose if we are taking this address ID 4, which was Delhi, in that case, employee name will not match, right? Because for employee name, we are taking only one record, right? So it will not find any other candidate. So it will be single record. Okay, so here we are taking 3 record as test. Chandan Kumar Singh, these 2, which should match as per the fuzzy logic, because it will take employee name from employee, and for city and address, it will go to address table, and from address table it will fetch city and address, and then it will try to match. Okay, so in this case both table will come in picture in this match rule. So I'm taking a pause here. Now you guys can ask question before going ahead. Okay,
No question.
if no, then we can go ahead. So let's try to, yeah, we have our test data ready. Now we can generate the match tokens, and then we can try to match. So let's go to batch viewer, and first we have to generate match tokens. We have to generate match token for both the table, for BEMP and address also. So here match token generated for 3 record for employee, and here for V address also we have to generate the match tokens. So why it got failed? Occur for tokenization based in either match of these. There are no match columns defined for the base of CVADR, nothing to tokenize. Why? Why is it coming? Because we have is it right table or not? VADR. So for this is saying no match columns defined. These match columns we have defined. CAVADR, there are no match columns defined for the base subject CVADR, nothing tokenized. Okay, but here if we come in a schema and match column, so this column we are taking from address itself. So this column it should kind of generate the tokens so that it can be used. Okay, so for easy understanding, what we can do, let's take some but this column we have taken directly from address itself. So
I think that column we have to define in base object of B address also.
right, let's define some column in B address. Let's go to
First one.
BADR columns, match module setup, in path. Let's select the employee. Here we'll be able to see employee BMP. So EMP to ADR, not ADR to employee relationship, ADR to EMP. Here we have defined employee table. Let's define some fuzzy columns here. So here we can take address line 1. Let's okay, what is the error? Partial field name. Address part 1. So let's save it. The fuzzy key needs to be defined in order to use fuzzy this. Define a fuzzy match key or change the strategy to exact. Okay. So let's define some exact also. City. EX underscore city. The match key needs to be defined. Why it is asking for match key this time? Path component, organization name, key type. For this we have taken it. Okay, here we have not selected anything. Okay, see here where when we define this fuzzy now. So if you see here in key type, if you select something, then by default it will create the fuzzy match key. Okay, and if you will not select anything, so it will not create fuzzy match key. It will just create fuzzy column. So in other examples, we are selecting like these columns. So by default, it is creating the key. Okay, because here the name is key type. It is asking key type. Okay. So if this is none, then by default, it will only mark that column type as a fuzzy. But if we are taking this as a person name, suppose, or address part 1, this is already used, address part 1. So yeah, person name we have already used. Let's give some dummy column here. So now we have defined some key. That's why we can save now. Do you want to save? Okay. So this fuzzy match key option is coming on the basis of this selection. If you not select any out of these 3, if you select none, then it will come this as a fuzzy. Okay. Now let's try to tokenize. Save it. The fuzzy match key needs to be defined in order to use fuzzy match or define a fuzzy match or change the strategy to exact. Yeah, we've already defined this. Address part 1, here it went. Address part 1 we had already defined. Let's save it. Okay. What address part 1 I'm selecting? This is fuzzy, this is exact. And suppose I want to define some person name. Not person name, address line 1. Address line 1 is not here. Achha, address line 1 is already here. Okay. That why what it was failing. Delete this one also. Achha, this one is fuzzy match key. Fuzzy match key. Let's take some dummy column here. Let's save it. That is fine. So this one we have taken basically important thing is that here we have defined the path between address to employee also, and here we have taken few columns for the defining the match and merge strategy. So now we come to batch viewer, and now let's try to generate the tokens. Regenerate the tokens. So now this time we got some tokens. Now let's go to respective strp table. And let's see the tokens. Let me refresh this. So B address, CB address, CB strp, where is that? Not CB cache, it should be CBMP. Should come down, CBMP and CBMP. CBMP should be strp. So we've got lots of token, that is fine. Okay. Here you can sort the row ID object, and you can see for which row ID object we have got how many tokens like that. Okay. So strp for employees populated properly. Let's see CB address. So this is CB address, and where is strp this. So here we have got very few tokens because your character was very small here. Why you got this one? Because in address we have taken long character, right? Okay, actually this is generating on the basis of the columns we have defined on the address table. Okay, and address table match rule. So basically this is generating on the basis of this, on the basis of this configuration. So we have taken exact CT, and we have taken the address ID. So here basically it is generating on the basis of CT and address ID. That's why it is generating the less tokens. So we have to generate more tokens for address line 1. So what we can do here, we can take address line 1. So that for address line 1, we will have the more tokens. We need address line 1 in our employee matching. So let's run the tokenization. Regenerate match tokens. Go tokenize. And let's refresh it here. So here we got more tokens because this time we are taken address part also for generating the tokens. Okay. And so we have the token generated for address. We have token generated for employee table as well. CBEMP strp. Okay. Now we can do one thing. So in this case, what we did now, it's not mandatory to do all this configuration on this address. But since the we had to generate some tokens of address, so we did this. But if you will not do, then again it will work fine. Why? Because here we have defined let's go in address. In address, we have already defined this path and relationship. From this path and relationship, okay. So on the basis of this path and this configuration, it will automatically combine the respective columns, address line 1 and whatever columns needed while generating the MICE tokens. Okay, that we can see here. So here in SSC data, you can see it is checking Chandan Kumar also, Chandan Kumar Singh is taking Bangalore West Metro also and Bangalore also. Okay, so basically it is taking 3 columns: name, address line 1 and city. So from where this is understanding that I need to take these 3 columns. So basically it is understanding on the basis of this configuration, like this configuration, this match configuration. In this match rule set, we have defined like this 3 column. So it will take this 3 column value from the child also, because how it will take the value of child, because already we have added a child in path. So on the basis of that, it will join and it will take the value. And here it is taking the value. And first it will combine these 3 value, and then on the basis of that, it will generate tokens. Okay. So no need to define tokens for address separately. But yes, what will happen in our real-time project for address also, we will have the some match merge setup, because for address also we need to create the master data for address separately, same like for employee. Okay, so in real-time project, definitely we will have some match merge rule columns and setup in the address table also. In all entity we will have. Okay, but here in this example, if you want to do only testing for employee, and if you have done all setup here properly, then no need to generate token for address separately. You can just do the testing on the basis of employee tokens, and on the employee tokens, we can see it will automatically combine the child data also on the basis of that join and match criteria. Okay, and it will generate the match tokens. So basically, these match tokens are generating for helping our for helping in finding the match tokens. Sorry, for match candidate. Okay, so it will read the match rule, and on the basis of match rule, it will combine the data, and accordingly, it will generate the tokens. Now we can go to merge rule. So let's see this data from the data manager. What is the consolidation indicator and all? Why it is still 4? Oh, so
You have not run the match job.
Right. This time we have just run the tokenize. So that is still we are fine. Okay. Now let's run the match job. So we have to run the match job. Run the match job for employee. Okay. Let's take this MRS. This time we have got some match candidate. Now let's come to data manager and let's see this consolidation indicator. So all got changed to 2. That is fine. And if you want to see kind of match details, we have to come to merge manager. From here we can see the match candidates. Okay. So here we are selecting Chandan Kumar Singh, Bangalore. So this is having one matching candidate that is showing, and that is address is Bangalore West. So this address is Bangalore and this Bangalore West, that is matching. So why it is matching? Because we have defined fuzzy match on the basis of address. So that is working fine, right? Now let's select second address of Chandan Kumar Singh. So this is same vice versa, Bangalore West and Bangalore. Okay, like 1 is matching with 2 or 2 is matching with 1. Both are same, right? So both we can see here. Now here we can select Ravi. So for Ravi, we don't have any kind of matching data, so we are not able to see any candidate. Okay. So why this Ravi? Ravi is still consolidation indicator 2, because we have not run the merge job. So now you can have a look in the MTCS table of the employee. And here we can see 2 is matching with 1. Row ID object 2 is matching with 1. So where is 2? So row ID object 2. So this row ID object 1 is this, and row ID object 2 is this. So that is fine. Already we have verified these 2 are matching. So we have this one record in MTCH. In HMRG, we don't have any record. So we will get record here after merging. Okay. So let's try to merge this record. So here I am,
for matching, it was checking both the STRP table, means address and employee, to generate match pairs.
In match pair, in matching, basically
you have defined relationship of parent and child, so it is taking both the STRP tables while creating match pairs.
No, that is our misunderstanding. That's why I told if for this testing, if you are doing this testing for only employee, then no need to create what you say, add columns, these columns on address, and need to define fuzzy match column for address and all. No need to do, because if you see the strp table of employee, so on the basis of our this merge rule, this rule setup, we have 3 columns. So it is already combining these 3 columns and generating the tokens. Here you can see we have name Chandan, we have address line 1, and then we have city. So on the basis of match rule, it is combining the respective columns and then it is generating the tokens. So
Yeah, but address strp table is also populated with the tokens.
that we can truncate if you want for clarification. This is not needed actually.
No, I think that is populated with this rule only, because if that is not, because we have not defined any match rule set in the address.
Here, in what basis it is coming? No,
Yeah, because if we
yeah, you are saying it is going to employee and it is searching. Do we have any match rule for this
no,
table?
I'm saying that this address strp table is populated because of employee table, because we have defined match column, exact column, fuzzy column, but we have not defined match rules in the address match setup. So how this is populated?
Yeah, so here basically it's taking address line 1 and city. Okay, so let's come here a schema and let's see what the columns we have defined here. Here we have not defined any match rule setup, that is fine, but here we have defined few columns. Okay, so for testing, now what you can do, just you can delete this, and you can run it in the practice, and you can see that that will be clear, right? Because if you delete this and if you run the kind of tokenization job for address, then you will be able to see that what is happening. So doubt will be clear, because here we have defined this. So I am doubting it is coming here. It is combining with this, and here we have defined these 2 column. This is address line 1 and city, and that's why it is generating. So here you can do one thing now. In place of see address line 1, in place of city, just a minute. Here it is only taking city. Basically this is exact, that is fine. And here in person name you have taken address line 1. Okay, so for testing you can do just one thing. Let's take here city. Okay, here we are taking city and let's save it, and then we can run the tokenize job for address, and we can see the strp table. Then we'll be able to understand. Okay, because here in address table we can see it is combining address line 1 and city, right? Bangalore is a city column, and this is coming from address line 1. So basically this is combining these 2 columns. Okay, now since here we have defined only city, and here also we have taken city, so here we have to do something. Here let's take address id for easy understanding, otherwise it will be common. So in a city we are taking address id, and here we are taking the city. That means address id and city we are going to combine as per this configuration. So if you will run this tokenize, then you will be able to see. Let's run the tokenize for address. So generate match tokens, match token, regenerate, execute batch. So we got something. Let's refresh it, then we will be able to understand. See, so it is basically combining city and address id, ADR1, ADR2. Okay, so this is taking not from there, this is basically taking from this configuration, address configuration. Okay,
I got it.
It got clear, right?
Yes.
So this is so in this example this is not needed, no, but in real time definitely for all the attribute you will have the merge setup like this. But in this example, if you are doing a POC for employee, then if you are deleting this entire entry, this merge setup, this path and all, then still employee will not be impacted, it will work, because we have already defined path in employee here. So it can easily go to that address table with the help of this path. Okay. So we have got match candidate for the employee. Let's come recap it. So for employee, if we are going to MTCS table, we have match candidate that we saw. So because address line 1 is partially matching, so we have got match candidate. Now let's run the merge job. So it went in auto merge queue or manual merge queue. We have to see that, right? For that, come to merge manager and let's select the package. And this record is match rule this. So here we know that here we can only see the record which will come in the manual merge queue. Okay. If the record will go in auto merge queue, that record will not be available here. Always remember that. Merge manager will only have two set of record. If the record is only on hold or pending, or other, if the record is queue for the manual merge, that means this all three record is queue for manual merge. You can verify from here also. In match merge rule set what you have defined, you can verify from here. So here you can see auto no, right? Auto no means it will go for manual. And again, if you are able to see that record from here, then it is confirmed that this record is queued for the manual merge. Okay. So this record we have to manually merge. Okay. So I'm taking row ID object 1 and here we have row ID object 2. So I'm just trying to merge it. So here we have the merge option. Here we can merge the unmerged records with the. So let's try to merge from this option. The record merge was successful. Okay. So now we had the row ID object 2, which was down, which got master and one become the loser. So how we can see that? So that detail you can see from the XRF table or from the HMRG table. So now in MTCH we will not have anything, right? We know that it will be deleted. Now you can come to HMRG and you can see which got merged with which was the loser and which was winner. So here 1 is loser and 2 is winner. That's why 2 we are able to see from the data manager. 2 is available. And if you want to see the details of these 2, like yesterday, you remember we left up to this stage only. Let me explain it. Yesterday we were discussing this row ID object and original row ID object, and then our connection got disconnected. So here we have one column original row ID object. Okay, this is very important to understand concept wise. And there is one more column that is called row ID object. Where is that? This one. Okay, so see original row ID object and row ID object. Just focus on these two columns. Where is that? I'm not able to highlight this. So this column, row ID object for both the record is 2, 2. But for one record, it is 1 and it is for the one record, it is 2. So what it is saying, as we know that for every base object data, we will have one entry in XREF also. So this is nothing but a cross-reference data. This is nothing but a base object data. So if you select this Ravi one for Ravi, and if you see the original row ID object value is 3 and row ID object value 3. Okay. So in general case, for every record, the row ID object and original row ID object will be same before merging. Okay. And if some record will merge, then that we can understand if the value is changing. So if you are coming for this record, here we have 2 value for 2. Row ID object is 2, but we have 2 value original row ID object. What this is saying that 2 and 2, this is fine. Earlier it was 2 and 2. But this 1 become 2, that means 1 got merged with 2. So originally the row ID object of this record was 1, but 1 got merged with 2. That's why here it is not pointing 1, now it is pointing to 2. So before merge, if you do practice, you see that it will show 1 and 1, same like this 2 and 2, same like we saw for Ravi 3 and 3. Okay. So before merge, it was showing 1 and 1. But after merge, since 1 got merged with 2, now it is pointing here 2. So this is saying that 1 got merged with 2 and 2 become the master. So maybe if you again merge a few more record with this, then you can see the history of that all record here. That what was the actual row ID object of the loser record, you can see from the XREF table. And who become the loser and who become the winner, that you can see from this HMRG table. Okay, source and target. This already we explained. So let's try to unmerge this record. Let me show you one more thing. Where is the option of unmerge? Do you want to unmerge this record? Yes, I want to unmerge this record. What just now we merged, you can unmerge also. Okay, let me unmerge it. Base subject 2 I got unmerged. Let's reload. And now here you can see we had 2 and now we become 3. So see, now two row ID object and two original row ID object same. And for one row ID object, let's see, is 1 and 1, right? So what I told, originally it will be same, but if you merge, then this row ID object will change. Original row ID object will not change, it will remain same, but this row ID object will change. And this will be taken care by the winner record. Okay? So this we have to understand here. From here you can do merge and unmerge, and I will cover this all the options whatever we have in data manager, merge manager in the separate class. So I think we have covered this match and merge setup for today class, where we have taken the employee table as a parent and address table as a child, and we have taken some exact columns and fuzzy columns, and we have defined some match rules. And on the basis of that, we can see that it is working perfectly as per expectation. And also we learn the concept of original row ID object and row ID object, which is available in the XREF table, which will help us after the merging. And we can also refer this HMRG table after the merge, so that we can understand which become the loser and which become the winner. So I'm stopping the recording for today.